Hey everyone, welcome back. This is BPD Woman. I am your host, Jen. On this channel, I talk about my experiences with borderline personality disorder, and I share with you how to deal with your emotions, live more effectively with BPD, utilize the DBT skills, and achieve your goals in life and relationships. If that sounds like something that's interesting to you, please hit the subscribe button below and click that bell. I produce content several times a week, and I don't want you to miss a video if you find it helpful. I am not a clinician or a PhD, or I don't treat clients. There's nothing like that, but I can answer one question that all of those other folks that I just named can't, and that is, what is it like to live with BPD? I was diagnosed 20 years ago with BPD, and I have read every major book, text, done the work, done the homework, done the DBT probably 3, 4, 5 times. I've worked with therapists, I research, I read the papers. So if what I say rings true to you and is helpful, please, by all means, everyone is welcome. This channel is aimed for anyone who wants to learn more about DBT, but of course, if you have BPD, then it probably speaks to you much more loudly. Today, we're going to we're going to continue our skill practice of the DBT skills. In DBT, which is known as dialectical behavior therapy, which is the primary mode of treatment for those with borderline personality disorder. There are 4 modules in DBT: mindfulness, emotional regulation, interpersonal effectiveness, and distress tolerance. They are in order for a reason. Today, I am going to be continuing our mindfulness module, and we will today be talking about the skill of B1 mindful. As always, I'm going to talk about the skill in the description. I'm going to read the description. This description comes from most of the DBT information that you will find. This particular text that I'm about to read comes from the DBT app, which I highly recommend. It's a pay app. I've had it, the last 6 years or so. It's $10 for life. It has diary cards, mood trackers, feeling trackers, skills, distress tolerance, 911 skills. You can send PDFs of the report cards and reports to yourself, to your therapist. Check it out, and I'll put a link up here. Okay, so being one mindful, let's take a read. Being one mindful means that you are doing one molecule of behavior at a time. Some activities feel like they only have one core component, like breathing, which is true to a degree. Okay. However, you can also be mindful during more complex activities like driving. There are a lot of smaller tasks that comprise the activity of driving. Pressing the gas, brake, using your signals. They're all parts of driving. Talking on the phone or eating, however, are not. Whenever you are doing this house skill, try to remember that it takes one whole unit of behavior to make the whole behavior. Don't do anything extra, but don't leave out anything essential out either. Wow. Well, that's a little bit confusing. And I've been looking at DBT stuff for the last 20 years. So let's unpack that a little bit. First of all, the goal of DBT is to help us see things in the gray, right? There's obviously many goals when it comes to DBT, but the mindfulness module helps to slow the mind, slow the body. You know, there's some physiology and psychology that's interrelated there. When you slow the body down, you slow the mind down. You know, when you are at rest right after yoga, if you do yoga, do you find that your thoughts are racing, or do you find that you're very calm and in a euphoric state? If you are jogging up a flight of stairs, do you find that your state of mind is in a more excited and ramped up state of mind, or do you find that it's more mellow? The point I'm trying to make here is that when you tune into the body, the mind will follow. That sounds a little new age. Believe me, I'm not in new age, but stay with me on this. So Mindfulness is such a hot keyword. Everyone throws it around, but what is it exactly? It can be lots of things tangibly. Yes, it can be looking out the window and counting the leaves falling. Yes, it can be meditation. Yes, it can be smelling a candle. It could be describing something, just using descriptive words. It can take many forms, but the goal of mindfulness is to slow the mind, slow the body, so that you can reduce the emotional lability, which is the frequent fluctuation of moods and feelings that tend to set off those of us with high sensitivity, with borderline personality disorder, and engaging in behaviors and actions that are destructive, both interpersonally and with other folks. So back to what being one mindful is. It says there are complex activities in life. They name driving. They also name breathing. Now, when you think about breathing, you don't just breathe in and out and that's it, right? Like, that's what you think happens, but inside, behind the scenes, your body's doing a lot of work, right? Your heart is pumping blood. Your lungs are oxygenating the blood. Your capillaries and your veins, they move the blood. They help the chest rise and fall, right? Your ribs make room. So there is a lot of complex things that make up not only those kind of more explainable processes, but also life. And I think for me, my interpretation of being one mindful is that you are just honed in on the one thing in that particular thing that you are focusing in on. I go back to this quite a bit because for me, it's helpful and it works for me. Watching a foreign language movie, for me, I can't do many other things except be one-minded and one-mindful of watching that foreign language movie, reading those subtitles. Unless you speak the language, you can't have a conversation with someone else over here and catch everything on the screen. You can't look at your phone and play a game and know everything that was just said between the two characters in a foreign language film. When you are one mindful, okay, when you're practicing mindfulness and you're practicing being one mindful, you are distracted from your worries, your obsessive thoughts, from maybe a upsetting situation that happened with a friend of yours. When you're distracted, your body and your mind are also distracted and they calm down. And when they calm down, then you can use those other interpersonal skills that you've learned to come back and handle a situation more effectively, okay, to achieve the outcome that you want in life, whatever that may be. A good night's sleep for a job interview, continuing really great relations with your boyfriend or girlfriend, joining a new group, inviting a friend over, better conflict management, whatever the case may be. Let's put this in a real world example. Let me think of one of mine. Okay. I'll go to this one. So for me, one of my major core content issues is abandonment issues. And because of that, I work very hard on managing that, but also maintaining and cultivating and making new friends and keeping the ones that I have. So today, I had a great day. I worked a lot. I talked to a friend. I kind of mended a fence a little bit with someone. And we were hanging out for a little while after walking our dogs. And it was going on about 6:00. And I had realized that I was getting kind of cranky and I hadn't eaten yet. And I was like, starting to get agitated with the dog because it was like playing. And I just needed like a break. And I realized, I'm like, you know what? Like, I need to take a time out. Like, I need to go be mindful and have some dinner. And having that dinner made me realize that I needed to take an hour, watch a TV show with subtitles, by the way. Currently watching The Americans. I know it's an older show, but you know, there's lots of Russian subtitles. And I knew that I needed to just not really answer anyone's texts or be, you know, I had other people texting me, friends texting me, not really engage in any other kind of interactions with people until I had my food and I had some rest and I just had some me time. Doing that, taking that time out, saved me from snapping at a friend in a text because I was hangry, you know, or not paying attention to someone else's interaction because I was super, you know, dehydrated or whatever, or just stressed, or like, you know, I didn't have enough me time. I wasn't going to be the best person that I could be. And if my goal is to keep friends and friendships, then I have to work on that. Now, when my friend left, you know, like I was giving her like a piece of cake or something, and, you know, I still hadn't fed me, and my 3 animals were still waiting to be fed, and she was kind of standing there just waiting at the door, and I was starting to get stressed, and then the cat started to eat the dog's food, and there's a pill in the dog's food, and I was like, ah! And I was like, no, don't do that! And, you know, I knew I had kind of like startled her, and I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, here's the cake. I was like, I'm sorry for yelling. I've got to talk to you later. I was worried about the cat. I need to just calm down. And she understood. It's okay to like say that. You know, it's okay to tell someone, hey, I need to take some one mindfulness time out for me. Obviously, you don't say one mindfulness. Generally, you'll say a time out, a break, me time. I got to eat. I got to shower, whatever the case may be. Why do we do this? Well, to help achieve our goals. You know, if we are distracted, you know, if we're not being mindful, if we're rushing through life, we're going to miss a lot of things. And, you know, have you ever just been like, you start a movie and like, but you're also tootling in on your phone and you're like looking out the window, and then like 40 minutes goes by and you're like, what the fuck is what the hell is going on in this movie? You know, it's because you're not paying attention. And so that 40 minutes of that movie you missed is similar to missing out on, say, what your friend is trying to tell you in an important conversation, or you're missing out of your dog and your cat being really cute together. Missing out on life, for me, does not align with my ultimate goals, which is to be fully present and have great relationships. So, I hope that this video has been helpful. Go ahead, if you like, and check out the other, I believe there's now 5 other DBT skills under the Mindfulness module that are up on my channel. I'll put some links here. And thanks again for tuning in, and we'll talk soon. The next module, well, rather the next skill, is being effective. Okay, be effective. That looks like that's almost the last skill in the mindfulness module. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.